Time is limitless.
And love is eternal.
Sleep is invalid. How are you doing?
Nice- I'm good, bro. I'm good. Nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting me. How
Yes,
are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. I was playing pool last night because I love playing pool, and I was hanging out with a bunch of people talking all kinds of. I was talking to men, socializing, making friends, talking to a few girls, just enjoying myself, and I had a really great time. It's a pleasure to have you on. So you
Thank
help
you.
entrepreneurs and you help them improve their dating life, as far as I see.
Yeah, that's correct. So I help high performers basically to improve their dating life and their personality and character. And I think that they also improve their businesses basically. So I always say people that I teach self-development, I like to improve the person itself, and I think that the outcome whatever the person wants will always be better basically because the external world is a mirror of your inside world, so that's how I like to phrase it.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. Whatever you feel and whatever you see, you project that onto other people. So if you think positive thoughts, you're optimistic,
Mhm.
and you want people to feel good, genuinely good, you're going to present that to other people. Now, I posted a message in a group just a few hours ago, and they said, "Oh, you do that, you're a simp, you're blah, 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 you're a simp if you do that." Well, I look at it as there's possibly three types of people. You could be a bad guy where you're a piece of shit and you treat people horribly and but you're cocky, and some girls like that. You could be a good guy where you genuinely want people to feel good. Like you genuinely compliment somebody on something that's cool, or say they have good energy, or they dress good. I think the room that you're in looks pretty fucking cool. So I'm telling you that. Or you could be a third type of person that's shallow and they call a simp, or you're just very, yeah, shallow and not really genuine. You could be nice, but it's like fake nice. So I look at those are the types of archetypes that you could be. And I think if you want to be someone that's a good guy, it takes consistency and persistence and dealing with the bad crap. Because when something bad happens, you could just do nothing about it. You could just like, oh, I give up. Or you could keep going and you could figure out something how you could improve. And that makes you a more interesting and social person, I believe. What got you into the dating niche?
Ooh, very good question. I like your explanation by way of the archetypes.
Thanks.
So how did I get into the dating niche? I think we have to go back to 2012. I was 24. I think I was living a very normal life, let's say, in society. Um, Not really understanding. This is the beginning of before YouTube, before like all the mass information. The internet was already very popular, but it was still in the beginning. No social media, or just a little bit. And I would grow up and without a sense of purpose, basically. Like, what am I doing here? Who am I? Not really even asking those questions, but already feeling like intuitively there's something lacking. Then I came across self-development, basically. And then self-development, I remember the first book I ever read was Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. I read the book and I was like, holy shit, you can read a book about something and then improve yourself? That's incredible. Like for me, that was such a big shock that was nobody ever told me this. And then obviously the first thing as a young man with high testosterone, what is the first thing you want to fix? Of course, a woman. So start Googling, start doing YouTube, start watching videos. I remember the first pickup company that I came in contact with was Real Social Dynamics. Seeing a guy, you probably know him, Owen Cook,
Yeah.
I think his
Yeah,
name is.
I was at one of his free events several years ago, many years back.
Amazing. And I remember watching one of those videos, and I think my whole reality clicked. I think I didn't sleep for a few weeks, like just a few hours, start going out, start talking to girls, seeing like what is possible, seeing yourself transforming. And this was just the beginning. And then for years, gaming, meeting girls, going to relationships, growing as a person, studying happiness, learning how to make more money, to be free, seeing the world as a very abundant place. And yeah, becoming very satisfied basically. So it's been an amazing journey so far. How would you say, how did you get into the game scene, the woman scene, the being successful?
Well, I was in high school, and I remember in high school, I was very fascinated with one girl. I just thought she was the most attractive girl in the world. And I didn't really think about how there's billions of people on Earth. Not just millions of people, but there's billions. I didn't,
Yeah,
my mind like couldn't grasp that. And so I'm looking at this girl and I'm thinking, wow, this girl is so attractive. I would do anything in the world to be with her. And I drew a little picture of her, and I just drew this little picture, and I was like, "Wow, this girl's so cute." And the one kid in the class grabbed it. He just grabbed the paper, and then he gave it to her, and she looked at it. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it was like it wasn't me handing it to her. It was like a big event where everyone's looking, what the fuck's happening? And I was so
yeah.
embarrassed. I was like, man, this is just so embarrassing. And the first book that I read was called The Game by Neil Strauss. And I think
Mm,
there's a lot of truth in it. I think over time, though, because it's over 15 years old, if times change, game changes, dating changes. And so the same stuff doesn't always relate the same, especially if you're maybe in your 30s and you're talking to a girl that's 18 or 21, she's maybe thinking a little bit differently than a girl that's 30. And a lot of times, girls who are younger, they're like this, I want what's next, quick, quick, quick. So
of course.
if you're telling a long ass story that's 20 minutes, unless it's super interesting, a younger girl might not be interested. But what's I find interesting is TikTok just got banned in the United States last night. So whoever posts on TikTok, I don't think you could do that anymore unless you're using a VPN, which even then, is it worth it if you're in the United States? I don't think it is worth it unless they change the ban. I dated this girl last year, and she was studying in to be, let's just say, in the medical profession, but she loved TikTok. I was hanging out on her bed, and she pulled her phone out and she just wanted to look at TikTok videos with me like for 10, 20
Yeah,
minutes
yeah, yeah.
after we hooked up. So she just wanted to do that. And so we don't have TikTok currently. And I'm kind of happy about it. And the reason I'm happy about it is I have more of a following on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So in a way, it's nice. But in another way, I guess it's not so nice because some videos can blow up super quick if you're on there and you know how to structure your content. Where you're at, have you heard about the TikTok ban and what do you think about that?
Yeah, I actually just read it a few minutes ago on Twitter, on X. I think it's very interesting, and also what you say. And I think it's a huge issue how society and civilization is so hooked to the fast dopamine culture. I think it's a big issue. I can give you many examples as well, but it's very obvious when you even just walk in the street and go to a coffee place, restaurant. So I think it's a good thing it's banned, but at the same time, there's going to be a replacement very fast as well for the US market. So there's Instagram still. I mean, people are so addicted to sugar. Uh, so I mean, because basically people are addicted. So now even that TikTok is going to be banned, we will find something else to get like a very fast dopamine. I
Yeah.
think the only thing that can heal us as a society is that we just need like a spiritual evolution to go back to okay, what do we really want in life? How what is really happiness basically? So yeah, it's very fascinating to see, and I agree completely when you talk to a very young person. It's quite interesting because I was talking to somebody. I met somebody a few weeks ago, and I was so confused because she was asking me a lot of questions, but at the same time, she was always looking at the phone. And then she would ask me questions while she was looking at the phone.
Yeah.
Very confusing for me to experience
Yeah.
because at the same time, you don't really want to talk to somebody who's looking at the phone.
Yeah.
So I think more and more, I always tell my friends that like it's not going to be long anymore that we don't have a cell phone anymore, but it's going to be maybe a device not in our head yet, but maybe like a glass, and then it will just shuffle in front of our eyes with a screen, and then we will see it like that. Then we're gonna be even more addicted to it. I mean, I hope not, but I don't really see how innovation will be stopped in that way. But at the same time, I think it's also like a big opportunity, especially like in the gaming industry. Like we're meeting a lot of people. If you're really authentic, and I think as a man, if your leadership skills are good enough, you can take a girl out of there, especially when it's a girl with good values. Um, so that's a really strong quality to develop, basically, and that's what I like as well. I mean, it's harder to make a connection, but if you have that connection, then you can be very satisfied. What do you think of
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah. I completely agree with everything you said. If I'm talking with a girl who I met, let's say we're in my car driving around or we're at her house or mine, the last thing that I want is to her be on her phone nonstop and just go blah blah blah. And then
So
that's
crazy.
annoying and that's ignorant.
Yeah,
So I purposefully put my phone down for the most part if I'm talking to a girl.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes I'll have it out for like a minute or two. Or what I like doing is sometimes I'll just show a girl a video. Like I have a cat and I'll show her a video of my cat. My cat was sleeping the other day and he just gets so sleepy because he runs around the house. So he'll put his paw over his eyes and it's just the cutest thing. So I took a little video of it and I'll show a girl something like that maybe. Or, or I'll just if I'm even talking with some dudes, I say, my cat's crazy, look at that. So it's a good conversation piece. But I'm not like blah blah blah. That's just it's ignorant and it's also shallow. So that's something that I stay away from. But I think overall, like you're saying, Chat GPT 4 is what we have now. It is so impressive. You have the capability, if you want and if you know how to do it, to have a conversation with artificial intelligence. And it's not 100%. Not every single thing that it says is accurate, but a lot of it is powerful, very powerful. And arguably, a lot of its information is at an IQ between 120 and 140, which is higher than most people. So you could you could have hour-long conversations and nobody's fucking doing it. Nobody's doing it. You could do
you're doing it.
there's endless possibilities that you could do right now with it. And it's not even at its peak because probably in a year it's going to update again. And what I heard Ty Lopez say, which I somewhat look up to him because of how famous he is and how rich he is. There's some other people that I look to and what they're saying, and I go, oh, this person makes some sense. But yeah, he's saying probably in about a year, I think he said like in a year or two, it will update and then it'll be more intelligent than all humans. And then he has this theory that at some point in time, AI might form an AI species or something like that, and then that will form from whatever is going on there. But there's three areas he said that are the most important if you want to be successful as a businessman 2025. And the number one is knowledge, which we're discussing now is knowledge. And the third is brand, which we are both doing, building our brand. And then the middle one is AI. So two is AI, three is the brand, and number one's the knowledge. And with the brand, I have to say, my website's so easy to go to. You just type in J and the lowercase o. So JOResults.com. And you can get my
You
free
see,
ebook. It's completely free. So anybody watching this can get it. and you just go in there, you put in your email, got it, free ebook. And it's only like 20 pages. It's not a super long read if you don't want to read that long. Good to go, you got it. And if you like it, and if you go, this is pretty cool, and I like what this guy is saying, you can join my community. And it's only the price of like buying a meal. You want to buy a meal somewhere? It's that expensive. So you can buy that, and if you like it, you can stick around. So there you go. It's a free ebook too. And then with you, what kind of offers do you have that you're offering?
I offer basically what I do is I mostly do offline coaching. I offer one-on-one boot camps for a week because I think spending a week together is necessary for transformation. I think that's where I'm different with most of the coaches who work like weekends or yeah. And then I also do like online packages that I help people from a distance. These are mostly 3 or 6 months. I don't think it's super helpful. In my experience, it's way more harder and challenging to really change uh, people because especially in gaming, there's a lot of psychology there, and I think it's very hard to trick yourself in not really doing your best. So that's what I'm offering basically. I'm working on my brand online as well now. I've been
Okay.
coaching for a while since 2013. I always managed to find clients through my network, but now I like to build it also online, get more visibility. So I will post some things later. People can always follow me on Instagram. It's Prince_Solomon with three N's in the back. That's coming from King Solomon, but I'm not as wise yet, so that's why I call myself a prince.
Sounds good. Very nice. Very nice. And then with your coaching, where do you take men on the boot camps? Do you do day game? Do you do night game? What specifically do you do whenever you're coaching them?
It depends on the client what they want. Like some people don't really like the nightlife, some people love it. Um, but what I teach is basically to do it anywhere. What I like to do is because most of my clients are very busy, so I like to teach them to do it always and anywhere without losing a lot of time. So let's say you take the subway, you're in a coffee shop, um, you go to the library. Also depends on what kind of girl you want to attract. If you want to get a smarter girl, sorry, someone with values, you're not going to find her in a nightclub. Well, it's possible, but less possibility. So it really depends on the client. That's why I do like 1 week because it's a lot of time. So we can do whatever. We just go, we flow, we have fun. It's a lot of inner work as well, a lot of pragmatic social skills. It really depends. But for me, the most important thing is that just the person that come to me, that they after 1 week of working with me, they become like a better person. They have better skills, they'll make more money, and they'll attract better and more women.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's very admirable that you do that. And I do it as well. And the other thing is I do day game and night game too. And if you have it set up so it's for what they want to improve
Yeah,
instead of like, oh, this is all about me, you're helping them. So if they want to not go to bars and then you teach them in the daytime or you teach them in the nighttime, and that also makes you a better instructor too, doing both because there's pros and cons to both. And I always say the pros to meeting girls in the nighttime are you're going to talk with lots of people, so your social
true.
skills are going to improve dramatically and very quickly. And you're going to run into all kinds of situations that might be difficult or tricky because there's group scenarios. You might have people saying something super nice to you out of nowhere or something super rude. And there's just so many situations and things happen quick. So you could end up kissing a girl in a few seconds, especially if you know everybody at the bar or you know a lot of people. Things can happen super, super quick. And a lot of times in the daytime, depending on where you're at, things happen a lot slower. But it's healthier. So, it might be happening slower depending on where you're at. There's some day spots where there's a lot of women, but in general, I think in daytime it's going to be slower, but it's healthier. You're going to get better sleep if you do it in the daytime. Pros and cons to both. And you can learn a lot
True.
doing both. And you can gain social skills pretty quick doing both, especially if you're
Yeah.
consistent. And consistency, I always say, is key whenever you're talking to people, talking to girls. I go out every single day. I've been going out. I'm on a 30-day challenge right now.
Wow,
Today's day.
impressive.
Thank you. Today is day 14, and we will continue. I'll continue today, and I make videos every day too on it. And so this podcast I think was excellent. I usually do shorter podcasts because my schedule is just so full with so many things that I'm doing. I had a great time talking with you, and if people are interested in what you want to do, I'll have a link below in your for your stuff, and I'll have a link below for mine as well, for your Instagram too, and for my free ebook below as well. Like I said, I had a great time talking with you. And do you have any last words before I go on to the next thing?
Just want to thank you for inviting me. It was really nice to meet you. You seem to be a very beautiful soul. Keep doing the hard work, and for the rest, just make it legendary. Make it
Absolutely.
legendary.
Same to you as well, my friend. And I would like to talk to you in the near future. Woo! All right. Talk to you soon.
Vamos. Thank you, brother. See you.